I had a friend, and he was everybody's friend in Chicago. I had a friend named Pete Kastanes, and Pete was a fascinating guy. He ran the brand, which had Twitter pages, Instagram pages, Facebook pages, called Vanished Chicagoland, where he would talk about, oh, you remember this grocery store on, I don't know, I can't think of a road right now, on Cumberland, and then people would comment, oh, I used to get an Italian beef there. Or remember this toy store? Yeah, I got my first teddy bear there. And he started creating it when Facebook really began to pop about 12 years ago. And I believe there was another name that was attached to it before it was Vanished Chicagoland. And to be honest, Pete had that it factor. So he would run his Facebook group where he would post about memories, and he did a podcast with 500 episodes. I believe he really began doing it during COVID, especially in Chicago where they were really locked down. And he would have a signature selfie where he kind of had a mysterious look about him. And that's because he was a mysterious guy. And that was a good thing. He was very classy. He was very private, but he also would do anything for his friends. So I first found the page because probably my algorithm working in radio, I would see, like, let's say it's the 42nd anniversary of Disco Demolition with Steve Dahl, and his page would post it, and then everybody would go, oh, I was there, blah, blah, blah. Remember the 79 or I think it was 97 cents to get in, and blah, blah, blah. So then I followed the page, and you begin to kind of see the selfies, and there's a certain way you have to promote yourself when you're on a brand. Like, I'll take selfies, and I might get 10 likes. Pete takes selfies and he gets 1,000 likes. He just had that it factor. He just had that classiness to him. He represented old Chicago. Not saying Chicago doesn't have love now, but he represented that brotherhood, that, like, my mom's friends knew who he was. Everybody at the WGN News knew who he was. And he passed away from cancer Sunday, April 26th. And he made a post Wednesday or Thursday last week saying that he didn't have much time left and he was going into hospice. And I was flying to Minneapolis after being in Chicago, and I just started crying on the plane because I wasn't on a Delta plane. I was on a Sun Country plane where they don't really have Wi-Fi. So it was just me and my thoughts. And it just absolutely crushed me. I texted him, I don't know, probably 9 days ago, because now it's Monday, April 27th, and Monday or Saturday, April 18th, I flew to Chicago, and I knew he was in a hospital, and I texted him and I said, hey, Pete, do you want any company? I would love to see you. And then he was like, oh, well, I'm in the hospital right now. I should be getting out soon. And then I said, sounds good. I said, when you get out, let me know and I'll buy you lunch, because he just bought me lunch. And then seeing how quickly the cancer spread in the last 5 days absolutely crushed me, because he had so many plans. He was 62 years old. I know he was making a good living off of Vanished Chicagoland. He had his own house. He had a lovely mom who seemed like the nicest person. And if she's listening, I am so sorry. Like, your son is just one of a kind. Like, and I'm a jackass on the show. I speak my mind and say it like it is. But I'm telling you, like, I absolutely adored Pete. Like, Pete was that guy. We went out to lunch. I forget the name of the place. I couldn't even remember what I ate. I think it was a burger. I went to this place in, like, Lombard or something. Man, I wish I could remember. And he had so many plans. He was talking about he was going to go visit, I guess, some family in Greece because he was Greek and he wanted to go to Greece, and he was going to get his visa and he was going to travel the world. And he said, once I get rid of that darn cancer, like, he was such a clean cut guy that he didn't say, like, in my Facebook post, I said, fuck cancer because it's ridiculous. But he was just such a sweet guy. And I think what I adored most about Pete was that I had just met him. And sometimes, like, when you meet people you're a fan of, you don't want to meet your heroes. Pete was one of my heroes because, man, if I was facing cancer and I was not sure if I'm going to be able to travel the world, I would be furious at the world. I would not want anything to do with the world. But all he did was spread love. He spread awareness of Chicago's past. And I'm trying not to cry right now. I am just absolutely torn. Pete was that guy, man. I don't know what else I can say. I made my Facebook post last night. I'll get to some of the comments right now. But Pete just, I'm not a religious person. I know a lot of people on the post are saying he's up in heaven. And I just adored Pete. Brett Putin, who just graduated from the Illinois Center for Radio or whatever it's called now. And he said, there are truly no words. Pete will never be forgotten. Let me see the other comments. I didn't know Pete personally like so many others, but I am heartbroken like so many others that he has left us now here. He seemed to be an amazing person. A lot of the comments about I didn't know Pete personally. I thought this was a good comment. I'm not saying the other comments aren't. But I know Pete 40 years ago at DeVry University. Quiet, but had a great sense of humor, and he would have the class in absolute stitches. 2 to 3 times a trimester. Just one of the funniest and sweetest guys you'll ever meet. I liked something on his site 10 years ago, and he sent me a message thanking me for the like, and if I remembered him, like, how am I going to forget you? He was a nice guy, and my condolences to his family, his friends, and his fans. Ryan, what a great tribute to a great guy. He will surely be missed. He created something beautiful and wonderful, and I will never forget him. And a lot of the same comments. And I'm not a religious guy. I don't believe in God. I'm not going to go down that route because I don't want to hurt people that do believe in God. But it just absolutely crushes me that you have this amazing man who deserved nothing but the best in life. Like, Pete was that guy. Because you know on this show, I usually just trash celebrities. So this is out of my comfort zone to be nice. But I'm telling you, Pete was that guy. Only met him once. Texted a lot. On the podcast feed, I'll post the interview we had probably March last year. And you got to think, he's got hundreds of thousands of fans. He's gone on WGN News. He's been on Mancow's Morning Madhouse 10 years ago. The few words he got to get in on air, he had all this stardom in Chicago. Marcus LeShock was his friend, Marcus is awesome. But I'm just saying, I'm not a little show, but he took time out of his day. I'm not paying him. I'm not on in Chicago. So I just want to thank you, Pete, man. You made me a better person. You made me realize what a true man is. And you made me realize that not only do I need to improve as a person to be as awesome as you, but that you're never going to be forgotten. You're never going to be vanished, dude. You're a fucking legend. You're the man. There's never, ever going to be somebody, I'm not saying there's never going to be somebody as nice as him, but he had such a kind soul. Like, he's the type of guy, if you got a flat tire, he'd be there to help you. He was that dude. Just such an amazing guy, which is why it hurts me so much, is because I'm not saying if he was older, it'd be any better, but he was 62 and he was going to get his visa and travel the world. If I may quote the 1996 song, "Man, funk that." So on this website called Suno, you can make AI songs. I have not heard this song, but here is a song that's dedicated to Pete. Right here. Oh, I do this thing I do once a show where I don't have the music potted up. Here is the song for you, Pete.
Kept breathing, kept bright. Pete Kastanes moving like he knew every street, putting neighbors side by side, making strangers meet. He gave us a window, he gave us a voice, a place for the whole town to remember and rejoice. And when the winds got cold, he made the whole thing warm. A little bit of kindness in the middle of the storm. Pete
may have mispronounced his last name, but I thought AI was so smart. Still made a good song.